Somebody saying Jay will not be going live, guys. He's not even much in agging. Oh, man. All right. Well, welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, Jay Pops. Guys, I'm here. Please forgive me for not going live on last night, but I figured that I'll go ahead and just wait until some things die down. Also knew that it was already a lot of people that was pretty much making a podcast about the game, right? Forgive me on this one. I'm trying to get this straight, right? But guys, look, man, let's talk about it. It is what it is. The game last night, right? Texas A&M, number 3. Texas A&M Aggies goes down to the number 16 Longhorns out there in DKR. Final score 27-17, Texas. Man, I'm here to say, hey, congrats to Texas for the win, right? It is what it is. Does this hurt? Hell yeah, it hurts. That hurts, man, because this was the rivalry game. And this was the game that you needed for your shot to go to the SEC championship, and which is crazy to me because you were forced to go undefeated. That's what you were forced to do. You were forced to go undefeated. Man, it's a bummer, but at the same time, this team is 11-1. Okay, no, it's no more victories, so I'm not even much going to talk about that. But this team is 11-1. If you would have told anybody at the start of this season that this team would have been 11-1, they would have said that you were crazy, right? The problem is that you lost the last game of the season. And this was the team on last year, right? Well, this was one of the teams that kept you from out of the SEC championship on last year. So for 2 years in a row, Texas has got the better of you when it comes to you getting placed in the SEC championship game. That's what hurts. I don't think it's necessarily the rivalry that hurts. It's what's at stake when you play in this rivalry game, and this has been 2 years in a row now. I think this team will be better going forward, right? I'm not scared to say that. Hell, I wasn't even much scared to tell you that this team was going to go 12-0. What happened last night? One, Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed is what happened, okay? And not only Marcel Reed, but this team in particular, man, they shot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Marcel Reed with the 2 turnovers, trust me, that did not help. And those were back-to-back turnovers late in the game. Michael Taft caught another interception for the second year in the row against Marcel Reed. And then on top of that, the other guy caught the other interception. So last year he threw an interception, right? Till this day, Marcel Reed has not put up any touchdowns against Texas. That's what hurts. That hurts a whole lot because Marcel Reed is better than that, man. But at the same time, it's not a person that's going to sit up here and tell me, though, that when Marcel Reed went down with that ankle injury and he came back out, he was a whole different Marcel Reed. Now, I don't know if that played a part into how the way this game turned out, but I think that over these couple of weeks, right? Because let's be real here. And look, at the end of the day, A&M is in the playoffs. And you couldn't ask for anything much better than A&M being in the playoffs, okay? The rivalry is the rivalry. And once again, I'm not going to sit up here and act like that loss don't hurt. Because that shit hurts, okay? That hurts a whole lot. This is the state of Texas. I got friends that's Longhorn fans, right? Big time Longhorn fans. Yeah, man, they're going to let me have it. ESPN is Longhorn fans. They as of right now, they're dragging us. They're dragging us. But at the same time, Longhorns, y'all ain't going to the playoffs, okay? So I'm here to tell you this to all the Longhorn fans out there that's listening, to all the alumni out there that's listening. Y'all ain't going to the playoffs, man. Stop. You know, Steve Sarkisian trying to make a case for you and things like that. You're not going. Guess what? Because if you was going to go, then they're going to have to explain to South Carolina and Alabama as to why they didn't put them in on last year. So I'll say it once again. Texas, y'all ain't going to the playoffs. Now, what they're going to do, they're going to do the same thing we done last year when we watched them in the playoffs. They're going to wait for us. They're going to sit there and they're going to hope and they're going to, man, I'm waiting on A&M to lose. That's all we waiting on, right? But at the same time, man, this is what I will say about these two Texas teams. I think it's time that the state stands up and they acknowledge that these state of Texas teams, right, including Texas Tech, because Texas Tech is about to go, they're already a lock for the Big 12 championship game. They're gone. It's going to be them and BYU. But that game at DKR last night, like I said, I think it's time for a lot of people to acknowledge that, man, these teams have gotten better over the years. The recruiting, right? The recruiting has always been there for Texas and Texas A&M. The coaches now have put these programs on another level, okay? People can talk about A&M schedule all they want to, and people can call them fraud now since they've seen them lose, and they've been wanting them to lose for a long time. But guess what? A&M got the cards that were dealt to them. So what happened? They went 11-0 with those cards before they met Texas, right? Texas made it 11-1, and it is what it is. These were the same cards that Texas got dealt on last year. But guess what? They finished the deal and they went on to the SEC championship game. Texas A&M, they didn't get the benefit of that because the teams that they did play against, Texas A&M didn't know that they were going to be that bad this year. It is what it is, man. So you cannot blame their schedule for how the way they look, okay? Hell, truth be told, they probably should have lost to South Carolina, but they didn't, okay? And that was on the strength of Marcel Reed having a bad first half, and the second half, he just took over. That game last night that you seen from Texas and Texas A&M, it was a bad first half for Archman. Archman had done what Marcel Reed done against South Carolina, in which he took over the damn game. That's what he did. He basically took over the game. He turned into an unstoppable force all of a sudden, okay? Once again, man, this is what you want to see from these Texas teams, right? Now, all accord, if Texas would have beaten Florida, right, it would have been them against Texas A&M, and it would have been the second year in a row where Texas and A&M would have been playing for a spot in the SEC championship game. Let's go ahead and be real about this. That's crazy and that's mind-blowing to me. But for the fact that A&M was forced to go undefeated just to see the SEC championship game, that still blows my mind, man. I don't feel like that was right, but they were forcing A&M to do some things that they hadn't done since 1992. And guess what? We didn't do it. We didn't do it. Now, going forward, what does Texas A&M need to do to get themselves out of this mode? One, you don't need to think about this anymore, okay? That game happened on yesterday, and that's the past. You lost to your rival, and you just have to accept that loss. And it pretty much is what it is. Guys, excuse me real quick. This is my little baby girl coming out here. Hey, Mama. Okay, I'll be in there, okay? Daddy got to make a podcast real quick, okay? We'll sit right there, all right? But, guys, you know, it's one of those things where, man, you just got to put it behind you because you have no choice. Because Texas won't be in the playoffs staring at you, okay? Now, you have to get ready for possibly another Texas team, which is SMU. You have to get ready to battle the old school Southwest Conference days. And I can guarantee you this, SMU been wanting to play. So if you get that matchup right and where we're going to be in Kyle Field, Dallas is going to come home. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a lot of red, white, and blue in those stands if SMU comes to town and they play us. And guess what? Going forward, Texas A&M, you're going to get picked to lose all of these playoff games. I'm going to say this once again. A&M is going to get picked to lose No, A&M is going to be the one that's going to get picked to lose all of their playoff games. No matter how far you go, they're going to pick you to lose. Okay? If you got SMU coming to town, although you got home field advantage, guess what? They're going to pick you to lose, man. They are. They're going to pick you to lose. Now, what would be crazy is that, and we have to sit here and we have to watch Ohio State. We got to see what they're going to do. Okay? Everything has not been done already. Everything has to shake out according to what happens the rest of this weekend, but also according to what happens next week in these conference title games, okay? Because Ohio State, if Ohio State wins today, in which I picked Michigan to upset Ohio State on the day, okay? I picked that. If Ohio State, if Michigan beats Ohio State, then they're going to ultimately move down, right? Ohio State wouldn't be number one anymore. But A&M, where do you fall to? Do you fall to number 6? Do you fall to number 7? Let's be real, man. You're probably going to fall to probably number 5 or maybe 6, right? I don't think you're going to be behind Ole Miss, but then again, it is a world where you can fall behind Ole Miss, okay? And it is what it is, but we'll see. Like I say, it's going to all be up to what Ohio State is going to do, and it's going to be up to how the way Alabama looks as well, right? Alabama already has 2 losses. It is what it is with them. But they have to win the Iron Bowl. If they don't win the Iron Bowl on tonight, then guess what? Ole Miss probably will jump you because they played in the SEC title game, in which it's going to be their first ever time in there. That's crazy to say because Ole Miss has been in this damn conference ever since it started, right? But A&M, man, you're on the wait and see mode. You have to see how everything shakes out. I still think it's going to be Georgia and Alabama in that SEC title game. You got to wait and see if Georgia is going to beat Alabama, or you got to wait and see if Alabama is going to beat Georgia. If Alabama beats Georgia, most likely you'll probably move up above Georgia, but then again, you'll probably be right behind them, okay? Who's going to be your opponent? Man, you just don't know yet. You don't know because everything will come out on next Sunday. On next Sunday is when we'll find out the bowl games. That's when we'll find out the seeding and everything like that. I still believe, man, look, the committee is going to make it tough on you. They're going to make it tough on you, okay? They're going to make it very tough in where, hell, you might see A&M be like the number 12 team, in which, we all going to be mad. It ain't going to make no sense because the record is going to be 11-1, right? But I mean, man, it is what it is. This is just how this thing goes, okay? And A&M just has to go out there and win games. They have to do what they've been doing. No, you didn't get it done on last night, but once again, man, you got to put that in your rearview mirror. And once again, I'll be honest with you. Does it hurt? Yes. But does it feel better going to the playoffs where a lot of people didn't even much have you picked to go to the playoffs to begin with? Hell yeah. So, man, you just got to do your thing on this one. You can't look back. You can't look back. Marcel Reed, you had a bad game, bro. That was horrible. That was a horrible game. Once again, I don't know if the ankle had anything to do with it, but guess what? You got some time to heal that ankle up because the first half of that game, A&M looked good. A&M looked like they were playing A&M football, right? But once you rolled up that ankle, man, I could honestly see the difference. I could see the difference. And it was just, man, it caught up, and it is what it is. I'm not making no excuses, but I did see the difference, right? And it was what it was. Now, what was going on with that field at DKR? I have no clue because even Texas players start to go down after a certain point. So I don't know. Maybe it's some things they need to look at DKR as opposed to getting that field together. However, It is what it is. They still came out with the victory, and you have to keep going. The people that you are going to have to shut up because, and you know, at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait for another year. The folks that you're going to have to shut up. You got to go PP? You got to go TT? No? The people that you're going to have to shut up out there that are Longhorn players. Number one is Colin Simmons. That dude is going to talk crap, okay? And he's been on the winning side of this thing for 2 years in a row. So, deservingly so, he can talk crap. J. Reed Adams came out with the video, right? That was earlier this week, and he was like, you know, hey, cowards do what cowards do because they stomped all on the A&M logo, right? They go out there, right? And ultimately, right, Texas gets the victory. Colin Simmons responds to J. Reed Adams. Who? What is he? Six-year senior, right? Man, I don't even much know who that guy is. You gotta shut that dude up, man. This is what they do. This is what they do, all right? You gotta shut him up. I mean, J. Reed Adams won't be here next year, so it is what it is, right? But you gotta shut them up. How they say it, winning cures everything. The way to shut these guys up that are out there in Texas, because they're gonna hold that rivalry for a whole nother year. The way to shut these guys up and including everybody else that has something to say about you, go out and win a national title. Can they win a national title? Yes, I'm still a believer in that. I still believe that they're going to win a national title. I picked y'all to go 12-0. We didn't go 12-0, and it is what it is. We went 11-1. We're not in the SEC championship game. It sucks, right? Because I wanted to see them go to that. But, hey, you have a bigger prize up ahead, which is a national title. Next year, let's do it all over again. The hardest thing to do is to come back next year and do it all over again. Now, a lot of people are going to pick you to go 8-4 next year. I know this. I ain't going to be one of them. Bless you, baby. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm going to look at that schedule one more time, and I already know who we got on there, right? I ain't going to talk about next year yet because we still got this year to deal with. But the things that need to be done while we're sitting there waiting on Selection Sunday on next week. One, get your defense together, okay? Because we got to get this together before we get to these playoffs. Two, Marcel Reed, get your ankle together, okay? Do whatever you got to do to get that ankle wrapped, prepared, and come on back because we're going to need you at Kyle Field. Three, the fan support going to be there. This going to be a sold-out game. Shit, you ain't gonna have no tickets left. I'm finna tell you that right now. We got 2 weeks to do this. They have to give you a home playoff game, though. If I'm not mistaken, Ohio State was seeded at number 6 last year, and they went all the way to win it all. Okay? Can you do what Ohio State did? Because that's how people are going to look at you now. Can you do what Ohio State did on last year? They didn't play in no conference championship game. They didn't have no bye week, but guess what they did have? Stop, baby J. But guess what they did have? They had enough energy and power to keep on going. Okay, so somebody said Ohio State was 8. Okay, I knew they were somewhere in there. So Ohio State was number 18 last year. Are you going to be the number 18? Probably not. Hell, you probably be like number 5 or 6 in there, right? You're going to be kind of in that same spot where Texas was on last year. I think Texas was the number 5 team on last year. They'll probably put you in that number 5 spot as well. But we will see. We will see. But we got to make the best of what we have. You're going to be number 5, just go out there and be number 5. Your season starts over in the college football playoffs. Just like how it is with the NFL, because I see this a lot. It's a brand new season when it's playoff time, baby. And you have to get in that mode. You have to know that it's playoff time, okay? All the first round buys got beat. But a lot of people wanted A&M to have this home playoff game because they just want to see the stadium rocking one more time. And they just want to see the atmosphere. Me personally, I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see A&M getting this SEC championship game. I want that title already. I do. I want to see them play for that title already, man. We've been here for too long. Now, I just told you what I told you about Ole Miss, in which Ole Miss been here for a lifetime, and they still ain't winning. But I wanted to go to that. I don't like looking at Texas go to shit that we're supposed to already be in the first place. I don't like looking at that. I don't like seeing them beat us and keeping us out of things. That's what they did. They done this to the volleyball team. Just this past week, this is what they do. We have to end that already. I don't like that bull crap. I don't like that bull crap. I'm not a fan of that bull crap. Get it fixed already. We got a whole nother year to do it. This is when rivalry hits harder than ever because I am upset. I'm not going to act like I'm not upset about that. I'm upset about that, man. They should have beat those guys. This was one of our best teams that we've had since Johnny was in the damn SEC. So no, that don't make no sense that we go out there and lose to them at DKR. Shout out to DKR, though, by the way, because that place was rocking. That place was rocking. But this makes no sense, man. It makes no sense. I don't like it. Now, is Mike Elko going to get fired? Hell no. Right? Hell no. A rivalry is not going to get you fired. The only way you get fired is if you were trash going into the rivalry. If this team was 6-6 and if this team was 5-6 going into the rivalry and you're in your second year, yeah, now we'll start looking at a couple of years down the road like, hey, are you going to get this fixed already? Yes. Yes, it's the reason why Ryan Day is still at Ohio State. Yeah, they care about the rivalry, but they care more about winning a championship. That's what it's all about. Okay? That is what it's all about. You need to go and win the national title or at least play for one. I think everybody in College Station will feel a lot better if Texas A&M plays for a national championship, let alone win it. But if they just play for one, everybody feels a whole lot better. Get a couple of playoff wins under your belt, turn around come next year, do it all over again, okay? You put yourself in unfamiliar territory, and now on next season, you finna have some expectations put on you, baby. There's finna be some expectations put on you whole, okay? Yeah, I hear somebody say, man, A&M wasn't crisp. The last couple of games, this is bound to happen. It was, right? And it started with South Carolina. It did. It started with the South Carolina game. They got us. They got us in that first half. I did not feel like they were ever going to lose the game. They were still in there. This game, they could have won this game. Self-inflicted wounds is going to get you every time. Okay? False start up there by the goal lines and stuff. Man, it's going to set you back. It's going to set you back, man. We ain't got no business being in that type of stuff. Interceptions, 2 of them. Up there in A&M territory. No, I'm sorry, didn't know. What's this? A&M territory or Texas? It was one of them. No, A&M territory. We have no business turning the ball over in that territory. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Marcel Reed, you my dog, right? I think you noticed by now, it's a lot of the state of Texas pulling for you. And it's a lot of the Tennessee. It's a crap load of Tennessee, the state of Tennessee pulling for you as well, man. But we got to fix these interceptions, baby. We got to fix these. We got to fix these interceptions. We don't do this, right? That is not going to win you championships. I'm going to let you know this right now. That will not win you championships. So we just got to fix it. We got to fix it. Elko, he has him in the film room. I know he does. Klein, right? Klein, the play calling was good, right? This game was lost. This game was lost, right? On the back of Marcel Reed. And I hate to say that, but this game was lost on the back of Marcel Reed. It is what it is, baby. And you just got to take that loss and you got to roll with it. You got to take that loss and you got to roll with it, okay? You got to talk to yourself and you got to talk to everybody out there and say, hey, that loss on me. That's on me. We can't do that no more. We can't do that no more. Or I can't do that no more. Okay? And it is what it is. We look good defensively up to a certain point, right? And I don't think it's on the defensive backs. Some of it is on that defensive line. All right? In which Arch just found little small crease holes and he ran for it. Trey Wiseman done this to you for the second year in a row where he went over 150 yards. Remind you, Texas hadn't ran the ball good all damn year, man. All year they hadn't ran the ball good. They get to this game, they go off running the football. That's what I don't like. They put up over 200 plus yards on us again running the football. Elko, his kryptonite is Steve Sarkisian. The reason why I say his kryptonite is Steve Sarkisian, Sark has gotten him at Alabama as an offense coordinator back in those days, and he's also gotten him as a head coach at Texas. That hurts, man. That hurts. But Sark is, but Sark offense is the kryptonite to A&M's defense. Because we can be the wrecking crew all day long, but when we go up against Sark's offense, I don't know what it is. I have no clue what it is, man. And this year, right, you scored some touchdowns on them. Last year, you didn't score no touchdowns on them. This year, we did. It hurts, right? It hurts, man. The penalties we got to get rid of. We got to get rid of these penalties. We got to, man. Oh, we got to get rid of these penalties. All right. KC Concepcion looked good again. I don't know what's happening to us not using Mario Craig. I don't. I will say this, though, and I think a lot of people forget this, but this is the second year in a row with Le'Veon Moss not playing this game. I really want to see the difference with Le'Veon Moss being in this game, playing, as opposing to seeing Reuben Owens playing in this game and two freshmen behind. Le'Veon Moss hadn't been available for 2 years in a row playing this game, and I hate that, man, because I do feel like the game looks different if Le'Veon is back there. But we don't know. We don't know. We don't know the outcome. Texas can tell you what they want to tell you, but they haven't faced Le'Veon Moss. They haven't. So, man, we'll see. I think the playoffs will be good, and I think Le'Veon Moss will be ready to go come playoff time. But I don't know what type of injury Moss is dealing with, but it isn't a good one, man, because this second year in a row where this has kept him out for a long time. And I don't know what South Carolina done to that actual leg, nor do I know if that's the same leg that he got hit on last year when he had went there. But I don't know, man. Whatever they done to him that year, it is now kind of translated into this year, and it's kind of like you. I don't know if he went down with an ankle injury or it was another like thigh injury, but I don't know, man. We're gonna have to see. Once again, right? Shout out to Texas, man. They won the game, and it is what it is. But A&M is playoff bound for the first time in program history. Yeah, this loss hurts, but I guarantee you, come playoff time, man, we win that first playoff game, this loss won't even much be thought about no more. People can want to think about that all they want to, but that'll be in the past. You just need to go out and win the playoff game and put this loss behind you, and it is what it is, all right? So, once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I know this college football Saturday morning, right? I know College Game Day is on SEC Network because I'm finna go back to watching all this stuff here. But, man, let's just tune in. Let's see if there's some more chaos out there. You know, hey, they got us. We got, and it is what it is. Let's see who else gets beat, okay? So, thank you all once again. And if you don't mind, please hit that subscribe and that like button. And once again, #Giggle.